Hey guys, it's Steve from Skolgamingyt Network. Welcome to another MLB Perfect Inning 2018 video. And today, at the suggestion of New England 4, link to his channel will be in the description. He does some great MLB Perfect Inning 2018 content. He's very good at gameplay, especially. But I recommend you check out his channel. Anyways, today's video, as suggested by him, I took a look at the boosting odds to see are they what Gameville advertises them as or not. I'll explain what I did, how I set things up, show you guys the data, and then present the outcome in hopefully a way that everybody can understand. So to start off, I looked at +3, +4, +5, and +6. +2 has a 100% success rate, going from +1 to +2. For 3, that means going from +2 to +3, which should have a 90% success rate. 4, that's from +3 to +4, which should have a 70% success rate. 5, that's from +4 to +5, should be a 50-50 deal. And 6, that's from +5 to +6, that has a 30% success rate. When boosting, I made sure, for the purposes of this experiment, to not use duplicate players and to not use trainers. The reason for this, I wanted unbiased results. Because if I'm testing at 90% half the time and 92% the other half of the time, I'd have two really tiny samples, whereas having all of those at 90%, I have a larger sample. And the larger sample you have, the less variability there is, and in general, the more likely it is that whatever your outcome is what it actually is. How I represented outcomes, anywhere you see a 1, that's a successful attempt. Anywhere you see a 0 is an unsuccessful attempt. This is a good binary way to reflect success and failure in terms of doing actual statistical work. This is a valid and relatively widely used standard, so it's not just me making something up. Yeah, we'll scroll through the data kind of slowly here. And then what I did for each of these is once I was done collecting the data, I added up the total of the numbers. I figured out based on line count how many total trials there were. So I had my number of successes, my actual ratio, then I had expected counts and the expected ratio. Then I had my statistical measures of how close or far apart the two were and whether or not it was a significant result. So as we get down here, +3s and +6s had less attempts. For +3s, because there were so many successful attempts, there didn't need to be nearly as many redos. For +6s, because I'd cut off the experiment at +6, since going +7 and higher would have been far too difficult or expensive. Once it succeeded at +6, that was it. There wasn't any going back. But if a +6 failed, it went back to +5. +5 was redone. +5 failed, it went to +4. If +4 succeeded, it went to +5. So there's a lot more back and forth interaction there, which led for a lot more trials there. But if we take a look, there were 70 trials at +3, 71 trials at +6, 153 trials at +4, and 163 trials at +5. We'll start by looking at +3s. 64 out of the 70 attempts were successful for a 91.4% success rate. The expected number of successes was 63. Expected ratio was 90%. Our test statistic was chi-squared 0.015870 with 1 degree of freedom. Degrees of freedom is the total number of variables, which is 2, success or failure, -1, so 1 degree of freedom. Our p-value is 0.899751, which means given our given data and distribution, there's an 89.975% chance that the actual distribution is 90%. So no, we can't reject the actual displayed info, and 90% is very plausible. So we take a look at +4, 116 successes out of 153 attempts, a 75.8% success rate. Our expectation would have been 107.1 or 107 at the 70% rate. Our chi-squared test statistic is 0.739589169 and gives us a p-value of 0.389792. So if we're assuming 0.7 is the actual distribution, but it's not significant enough to say 0.7 is not the actual success rate. To be significant enough, our p-value would have to be below 0.1, or in most statistical circles, less than 0.05. For our next one, the 50-50 one of going from +4 to +5, we had 72 successes and 163 attempts, a 44.17% success rate. Our expectation would have been 81.5. Our chi-squared test statistic, 1.107, is our largest, and yet the p-value 0.2926 says if it's actually a 50-50 proposition, the odds of getting 72 out of 163 is 29.26%. So we don't have significant findings against a 50-50. And finally, we had 21 out of 71 succeed for the +6, 29.57% success rate. We're 0.3 off of our expected count, and our expected ratio 0.3, very close to 29.57. Our chi-squared test statistic 0.00422, insanely low. Our p-value 0.948143, very high. So we have no significant findings. What this means is that the displayed percentages of success and failure for boosting attempts in MLB Perfect Inning 2018 most likely are accurate to what they show. Now, if you look at the data, there's streaks, right? So 50%, fails 3 times in a row, succeeds 2 times, fails 2 times, succeeds 2 times, fails 3 times. That's bound to happen. And the purpose of this was to say, okay, over the course of enough trials to get rid of streakiness, are these odds accurate? Yes, they are. It may not be the most exciting, but yes, I tested it. The odds are actually accurate. So any huge streak of failures or successes, chalk it up to luck. Be happy if you're succeeding. If you're failing, be mad, but also know that Gameville's odds are pretty dang accurate over the long haul. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like. If you're new around here, subscribe for more MLB Perfect Inning 2018 content. In the comments, let me know your thoughts on this experiment I ran. A huge thanks once again to New England for suggesting this idea to test it. Yeah, I presented the results because I ran the experiment and I proved that the odds are in fact true, which to me is just as important as saying they're false if they were false. That's all for this video though, guys. I'm G from Skolgamingyt Network. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, as always, peace out.